Hi, I'm Alan Nelson, owner and operator of Abbey Repair. I've been fixing sewing machines, sergers, and embroidery machines for 20 years. What I'd like to do today is show you how to wind a bobbin, thread, and get started sewing on a Kenmore 158.19411. Almost any Kenmore that looks like this Kenmore is going to operate the same way. There'll be some slight differences, but Kenmore made an awful lot of sewing machines with real subtle differences, and each one has a different model number. Almost all of them that look like this and are really heavy are very good, very solid machines. They put an awful lot of metal in them. This machine doesn't have any plastic parts on the inside. I really like these. These are some of the best domestic sewing machines that were made. I really like old Kenmores and really old Singers. That being said, I'm going to use Gutermann thread. I'm going to put the flat side of the Gutermann spool down on the spool pin with the cup side and the jagged side up. I'm going to come around this tensioner. This tensioner is spring loaded and it's only to be used for winding a bobbin. I come around the front side of it, cross over. I'm going to take my class 15 metal bobbin. I'm going to come through the middle, out one of the holes on the top. I'm going to put it on the bobbin winder and push this little lever over. That little lever engages the bobbin winder. This machine also has a clutch. And the way you handle this clutch or disengage this clutch is by pulling out on the hand wheel. I'm going to hold the thread straight above the bobbin. And now that bobbin thread, the tag end that I'm holding is actually starting to pull my finger down a little bit, pull my arm down a little. And if I let go, you can see how twisted it is. I'm going to take my scissors, I'm going to pull that snug, and I'm going to trim it right at the bobbin. And now that tag end disappeared down inside that bobbin. It's never going to be hanging around, wrapping over the edge, getting in the way and affecting my lower tension. Because in the bobbin case, there just isn't room for that extra thread to be wrapped around the outer edge or be floating around inside there. You want that tag end to be completely cut. I'm going to wind enough thread on this bobbin to do this project, and that should do it. And then I'm going to disengage the bobbin winder. If we kept going until that bobbin were full, this would disengage all by itself. I'm going to trim that thread, take the bobbin off, and now I have the bobbin thread coming off on the right side of the bobbin. And then the bobbin pops into the bobbin case and goes up in the slot and underneath the bobbin tension or the lower tension spring. I want to pull on that just a little bit and see, does it have a little over half an ounce, a little less than an ounce of tension? That's where they work best, is about 3/4 of an ounce of lower tension. I'm going to put the bobbin case onto the hook, onto the pin on the hook, and underneath here there's a little slot cut in the hook retainer, and that's where this little finger is going to go. That finger has to line up with that slot. And you hear that little click as it snaps into place. You want to hear that every time too. Now I want to thread the upper part of the machine. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to re-engage the clutch. Pushes in, that's all there is to it. Now I'm going to take the thread, put it on the spool pin. Now I said that this was only for winding bobbins. So you don't want that in there controlling your tension while you're actually sewing with the machine. So I'm going to come around behind that and through this thread guide. I have the presser foot up. The presser foot up loosens these upper tension discs, so I can hold a finger here and thread through those discs up past the check spring and actually pull that check spring right along with it, right up past this little pin on the upper tensioner. Through this thread guide, through the thread take-up lever, through this thread guide, and this thread guide. Now I'm going to put the presser foot down. And I'm going to thread that needle from front to back. I'm going to make sure the thread didn't get caught around the needle. It's so easy for it to wrap around the needle. I'm going to have the needle go down into the needle plate and come all the way up to the top of its stroke. Then I can pull on that upper thread, and it already did its twist thing with the bobbin thread. So it pulls that bobbin thread right up through the needle plate with the upper thread. And then the upper thread goes through the slot in the presser foot, and both threads go out the back of the machine. Now I'm going to take some fabric, and I always sew at least 2 layers of fabric, so when I'm running a test, I'll take a piece of test fabric like this and fold it in half. Put it underneath the presser foot and put the presser foot down. Now, even if what you're putting underneath the presser foot is so thick that the presser foot itself won't move, you still have to put that lever down, because when you put that presser foot lever down, the upper tensions push back together again. They re-engage. Now, I want to do the first 2 stitches by hand. There's 1, there's 2. If the thread is wrapped around something it shouldn't be wrapped around, or if it isn't somewhere where it needs to be, the machine won't let you do that second stitch. It did both stitches very well. Everything felt very smooth. Now I should be able to step on the foot control. And that machine should take care of me. I want to stop with my thread take-up lever at the top of its stroke. Now I can raise the presser foot. I know that the hook has let go of that upper thread, so I can very easily pull the thread out and trim it. And that's how you get started with a Kenmore 158 series sewing machine. Where you take it from here is limited only by your imagination. Thank you for watching, and if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to contact us on the link below. Thank you. And today I'd like to show you how to wind a bobbin, thread, and get started sewing on an Elna 62C.